Welcome back again.
Hi.
So, yes, whatever that was said in the commercial, please take the time of the date, the location, what's going to happen, and lastly, I want you to be there.
Yes.
All right? If you need any type of help getting there, ride, transportation, fares, money, plane tickets, hotel, hit us up.
We got you.
We got you. The Instagram link and ID is all under the link. Thanks to Mr. Longitude for putting in the work. But yeah, we're gonna get back into our discussion and talk about other things. We've talked about, lady roles. We talked about ministry. We talked about being a student. The core essence of who we are, our faith, right? You're a Christian. No. I have to be proud of me. I'm a child of God. I'm a child of God. Hey, I'm a child of God. Yeah. Don't mind me. The core essence of our faith. What challenges have you experienced with that? In and out of the church, right? So the last thing we talked about was about ladies being seen as weak or feeble, not being able to defend themselves. Yeah. There was a time where I was on the bus and it was late, 7 p.m. to 8. And there was a girl, young girl, about my age, I'll say maybe 20, 21, if not 19. And I think she overdosed on something. And so she was awake, but she was not herself. Like she sits and she's like, when I got on the bus, she was just like, you don't be able to see, but she was just slumped. Her phone fell, her AirPods fell, keys fell. And I'm like, hey, are you okay? And ordinarily, there were other people in the bus who completely ignored. Like, it's like she was not even in the bus. And the first thing I thought was, what if she's missed a stop? Yeah. What if she's with someone? What if she has kids? What if she's waiting for somebody? What if she's been abused? So many things just pop in my head. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I have to help her. Now, she was a white girl. If you live in this part of the world, you know it's something to be careful about. Yeah. So I approached her and I was like, there was an empty seat, so I sat next to her and I was like, hey, are you okay? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you're not okay. Where are you? She's like, and I'm like, where are you going? She mentioned where she was going, which was more northeast from where she was. And I told her, you're going towards here. She's like, and I'm like, yeah, you're lost. She's like, oh my God, yeah. And I'm like, do you know the address before you go? She's like, I'm not telling you. And I'm like, glory. I'm like, I'm lost. I'm trying to help you, asking me. So then she was like, I was like, well, do you have a phone number that you can call someone with? And she says, oh, my boyfriend. And so she's like, okay, my phone. I'm like, your phone is dead. She's like, oh yeah, can I get your phone? I'm like, my phone is dead as well. So what do you want to do? So there was another gentleman who was sitting there that she went up to. And as she went to the man, he was like, leave me alone. But I was watching, and later I think he realized I was also there. So he kind of like, okay, and then she made the phone call and she got off the bus. But even as she got off the bus, she still wasn't sure because she was like, I told her to sit by a bank, and she was like, where the bank? Like she was still out and in of it. And I wanted to stop and go, but here's the case, but if I stop and go, I'll be seen as a stalker. If something happens, it may be me. And it's not fear, this is just being wise because this is the world we live in. Yeah. As a Christian, with this little story, how do you pivot in certain aspects of your life when it comes to being a good person, quote unquote, when it comes to being a Christian to somebody? It could be in a hospital, it could be at home, it could be in school. We met a girl today at your fellowship she's not close friends with this girl, but she knows this girl who says she keeps hearing voices in her head and she wants to pray for the girl. And I'm like, that is a Christian. You get what I'm saying? Like, she sees a problem. She cannot fix it with medicine, but she can use prayer. Yeah. Right? So in what life situations do you find yourself where you have to use your power as a Christian?
You can go.
Okay. If you need time to think about it, that's fine. I can sing for the people as they...
For me, one thing that I've learned is always show love. You know what I mean? Let the people know that you are exhibiting love. And how do you do that? Through your speech, the way you talk. Because some people may tell you something and that as a Christian, this is not us to be so,
Mm-hmm.
but then you condemn them right away, like what you're doing is bad. You know what I mean? And I feel like as Christians, the most important thing we have to do is show love, and by how we speak to people, because people are taking notes. For example, yesterday, during our lunch periods, I was talking to this person, right? This is the one not just saying hi. And then he came to me and was like, "Oh, I was listening to a Christian radio and they were really being homophobic." And I'm like, "Hey, why are you telling me that you're really being homophobic?" And then I was telling them that just because you're doing that does not mean that all Christians are like that. Just because you're not showing love, I would say. So that's what I would say. For me personally, I tend to show love. I don't judge at all. I'm like, it's okay. We know that we all mess up, but there is still room for improvement. So that's what I would say. I always show love in my speech.
Yeah, I like that. I would say after showing love to, one thing that I do is intercession, like interceding for the people, because people will come to you with different problems, and like you said, as a Christian, when you hear it, you're just like, oh, whoa. Yeah, but after that, I just go in my secret place and intercede for them, because people are going through a lot. And like the girl you were talking about, at that moment, you couldn't do anything to help her out, right? So the only thing you can do is prayer. And I think sometimes too, people just say they're going to pray for people and they actually don't do it.
Their prayers, I will pray for you.
I'll be in prayer for you. Yes, and that's one thing that I'm learning, to be intentional to, like, if I say I'm going to do something, I have to do it, because we just throw, oh, I love you, oh, I'm going to pray for you, and then that's it. You don't remember them anymore. So intercession is very important, and I've seen it firsthand. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Love and intercession. Jesus said men ought to pray without ceasing.
Yeah.
And he said love is the greatest of them all. So you have the best of answers. Please, love is very important, especially in the reality or dispensation that we live in. For me, let's talk about homophobia just a little bit. For me, I don't have anything with homosexual LGBT community. I think that even for most of them, they are even nicer than some Christians.
Yeah.
But this is where we'll get technical and some people will be hurt. God doesn't have a problem with the sinner. It is the sin. The problem is not that you identify as what you identify as. The problem is what you do within that identity. If I say I'm a cat and I don't act like a cat, am I really a cat?
No.
So, but if I'm not a cat and I act like a cat, you call me a cat. Is that not true? So, I think that because where I was brought up in the world when I was born in Ghana, the expression of homophobia was very, as a child, it's either scary or dangerous. Because boys will be molested and it brings fear. So when I say that somebody is gay, it's not that I don't like misro. I'm afraid of my bum. So you get it. So everybody's experience is different. You get it. And I went to a boys' school for a semester. And the first night, I was telling Amanda's mother, first night I went there, I slept with my butt facing the wall. Because if I feel somebody moving me, I know that I have to scream, you know. And I woke up facing the opposite side. So when I woke up that morning, I was like, oh God, no. And I started feeling myself as if it's blood or anything. And it sounds funny, but it's true. The fear that I was feeling because of what other people do to other young people with that identity made it different. But when I moved to the United States, I met someone who was gay and he was the nicest, funniest guy. And we all run track together. He was fast. I tell you, when he's running, his identity doesn't identify with him. He was fast. He was muscular. But when he finished, you could tell he was back to himself. Nice, affable. He identified as I think he, she, or something. So he was both. They call them what's the name of them when you are bisexual. And I don't mention his name, but he was a very nice. I love that guy. He was so nice, awesome. People didn't like him because he was very confident and clear with his words. But everybody has a different relation. So, like Roselyn, sometimes you do need love to cushion the parts you don't see, to cover the blows that they used to hit you. And then you need the intercession to pray for them because, I mean, after all, you can't go and tell them to go and see a psychologist. You know, you can't go and tell them to go and it's who they see that they are. Like I said, if I wake up one morning and I wear shirt that says I'm a cat, are you going to carry me to a cat store?
No.
I don't know, but if you wake up and you see that I'm doing and I'm wearing cat's dress, you are likely to take me to a psychologist. So saying you identify as something and acting like you identify as something are two different things. And these are people say, I'm Christian, but you see them at the nightclub, right? And there's someone who tells you that I go to the nightclub, but I pray. You see, why are you going to the nightclub and pray? It means that you know that there is something more than nightclub. But then the one that says, oh, dearest Father, closest friend, most beautiful. And the next time you're singing, ouch, 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 ouch. You know, so
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad we talked in relation to those things because it's very unsettling when people condemn Christians because of, and yes, I know that some people are very rude with their Christianity. Unfortunately, it will happen because there are people who have been very Pharisaic in their approach to sharing the gospel. And we do need that temperate to allow the Holy Spirit to move. Last thing I want us to talk about, and then we'll be home. Parents. We both have parents. Parents who were born outside of the country we live in now. How do you relate with them? Education-wise, family-wise? Because I've spoken to a few first-generation kids, and things like I love you, hugs, dinner dates, breakfast dates, they don't get some. They don't get some. So it really hardens their hearts, even towards the things of God. How have your experiences been? And if it's personal, don't worry, not to say it, but how has it been? How do you handle it?
Sis Roselyn, go ahead.
Mama, go ahead.
Okay. So dealing with my parents, with my mom is my best friend. Like she would, my mom would listen to me. She will listen to my friends. I can talk to my mom about any and everything, and she will not judge me, right? But I live with both of my parents. So, but with my dad, he is kind of like the traditional hard guy. So, like I was saying, even with my transitioning from pre-med to nursing, he was not in favor of it. He was just like, why don't you become a doctor? You were supposed to become a doctor. You're not even going to make a lot of money when you become a nurse. And I'm like, okay, can you listen to what I have to tell you? But yeah, so he is so traditional in his thinking. And sometimes, you know, as a Christian, you expect everyone to be like, think like you do, but then you have to also understand where they're coming from. So I've learned to just not argue my way out, because I got into an argument with my dad about church, like I think it was in 2020, because I wanted to go to church so bad, and then he would tell me, no, COVID is around, you're not going anywhere. And then one day I was just like, why do you always tell me this? Like, why can I tell you what is on my mind? And he got so mad. He was just like, why are you insulting me? Mind you, I did not even do anything. And then after that, I was just like, yeah, I really don't want to go back and forth. I'll just, because at the end of the day, the Bible tells us to obey our parents and the Lord, right? So I was just like, I'm not even going to argue or anything. The only thing that I can do for him is to pray for him. But that is something that hurts me sometimes, because I'm like, I want my dad to be there. Like, I see him all the time. Can we have a conversation about guys? Like, are you talking to anybody? Who are you bringing home? Because I'm growing up. And we have to have these conversations. Like, certain things I'll tell my mom, and I will like my dad to know, but I can't tell him because he's just going to blow up and tell me, you have to focus on school, get your PhD. Like, yeah, so it's so hard. Pray for me, guys.
Sister Roselyn.
Ooh, okay. Well, that was good. For me personally, well, while I was in Ghana, like, I used to live with both my parents, actually. And then my dad moved here, so then I lived with my mom while I was best friend with my mom. My mom was amazing, but unfortunately she passed away. Yeah, she did. So then I had to live with my auntie and my uncle for a while, and then by God's grace, God opened the way, and then I came here to meet my dad. Well, my dad left when we were pretty young, so I didn't really know him as well. Like, we would talk on the phone, but then I got here and I got to, build a relationship. My dad is chill. He's cool. Like, you can talk to him about anything. And not anything, though. Like, I'm not gonna tell him I'm dating now. Like, give y'all was or whatever. Hey, please. No, they're like certain.
Brandon, be careful. Don't be asking for the phone number. You understand?
No, like, I don't know. I feel like there's certain things that I haven't talked to him about yet. Yeah. But yes, I would say I'm pretty chill with him. But then I feel like sometimes I understand, like, when you talk about hugs and everything. Maybe once in a while, like at graduation or something. But then again, for me, I understand. I don't like Theo's. I don't like African parents, but I understand their background because they did not grow up like that. They did not grow up parents being affectionate.
Yes. The English is a tenuous system.
So I understand. So they're like, how do I do that with my daughter? How do I do it with my son? But I like how my dad is like, I can talk to him. But I feel like the challenge that we went through was talking about college majors, and it was not cute. It was like, oh, you have to be a doctor, go to medical school, go into the healthcare field. Yeah. No, it's like, I feel like most, when it comes to the Ghanaian culture and African culture, I feel like one thing that, like, I would say the thing, the disagreement between the child and the parent will be the college majors and everything, because they grew up here, they've seen what people have done and succeeded in, so they want the children to do the same. So I would say that was kind of one of my hurdles with my dad. Yeah. And he always wants me to do everything on time. Yeah. But
I have something to say. Like, sometimes as a woman, it can be hard because, like, you want that father and daughter relationship, and when it's not there, because I have a few friends who have daddy issues because of this, because they can't have a close relationship, a close bond with their father, and it's so sad sometimes, because when you come here, they will tell you, oh, when you go to Rome, you do as Romans do, but then they be contradicting themselves. Like, just show me love. And so one thing that I think it was last year, when my woman of God, my Angie, shout out to my Angie. Yes. She taught me this. She was just like, Amanda, make God your father. He is your everything. What God can do for you, your earthly father can do for you. So take him as your father. See him as your father. Everything that you need, go to him. The love that you need, go to him. And he will give you that. And honestly, when I tried it, it worked. And so now I'm just like, okay, whatever my dad wants to do, he can do it. But I'm still going to pray for him to change, because I live with this man. I see him every day. Like, give me a hug. It's a problem. But yes. But just seeing God as your father, even if you have daddy issues out there, if you don't have a great relationship with your father, just make God your father, because he is there. He wants to hug you. He wants to talk to you. He wants to provide all your needs.
Wow. It reminds, I'm sorry, of the so most beautiful, dearest father. I just love that song. Sorry.
You are the only ones experiencing hardship. It's so cute. No, but it's been all articulated very well and said very grand. I think that every parent's desire is to see their child succeed. And for those who, my mom likes to say this, and this is a true phrase, for those who may not have much, as much as a family that was here before them, and they had to come immigrate here first. They expect you to live a comfortable life enough for yourself and for them. And yes, sometimes it's a burden is everyone able to do it? No. Are some people able to do it? Yeah, some people can do it, but that burden is different, and most surprising to other people, not everyone will want to become a doctor. We've all had a story. I thought I was going to go to med school. No, sir. Not that med school was difficult, but with the privileges I had to intern and research, and I realized that I can't do this for the rest of my life. I can't be called to work just randomly. Like, take care of yourself, not in a mean way, but you know, I like to be out there, being a boss of myself and impacting people's life with words, not with medicine. I know a doctor speaks to people, but at the end of the day, you say take ibuprofen. No, we take Holy Spirit. So yeah, most of the time, my parents want the best, and it's out of love. But that's where the unfortunate part may come out, because due to the way they were brought up is sometimes a little different. I like arguing with my mom about this. I don't care. I'll tell you in public. I like to argue with her when it comes to the way she was brought up and the Ghanaian way of being brought up, where I cannot ask my mom a question, even in the most respectful way, about something she knows she's wrong about, right? Or I cannot do something for us to have a oh, so why did you do it? It's always like, so why did you do it? I left your parent. And then it's just like, like they box you up. No, box you down. And it's like, you know, for some people, that's not everybody's experience, but for some people, they experience that, and then they rely on friends. They do drugs. They don't come home. They do all these things. So if you know a friend who's going through the same, be there for them. Give somebody a hug. Give somebody a handshake. Take somebody out. I know these days gas price is hard, but drive your cars more and take somebody out. You know, get breakfast. I mean, if your parents will allow you, because at some point, I don't know, as little as even going to practice, they monitor me. So, you know, and then when you bring the Bible says that your parents are your parents. As much as you do, you must try and respect them. Try and obey them. Try to be able to see what they are not seeing. Because sometimes I'm just there and I'm just like, so this that doesn't make sense. They want me to do it. You know? Or as simple as going out to win souls. They ask you why you going to win souls, but they tell you that to go to church. But going to church is not winning souls. Because church has already won souls. You get what I'm saying? Going to church is to update yourself. So there's just so many things that you can do. We can argue, but it starts from us. If we claim to read the Bible, if we claim to preach, and we must know God gives wisdom. There's ways you can trick your parents for them to see what, example, there's good ways to do this. Oh, go to med school. Oh yeah, I'm going to med school. Yeah, I'm learning. You graduate and you're not going to med school. I'm not going to med school. They can't kill you. Or no, but the problem with that is, but when you graduate, make sure that the degree you get that is not med school is going to work. Because the moment it doesn't work, I told you. I've wasted money. I told you, you didn't listen. Come, that's why they'll laugh at me.
Sure.
No, do that. Or if your parents are the ones who listen, talk to them, show them plan. I told my mom I won't go to med school anymore. This man came to my room. Are you sure? Are you sure? Student loans. I said, oh, madam. You know, so I think that being able to relate with our parents on so many different ways, and with the help of the Holy Spirit, being able to speak with them and relate with them helps us to avoid the arguments, the discomforts, the lack of lovingness, the no love, the no hugs, the no good nights, the no forehead kisses, all those wonderful things happen. I think that thing tends to grow with age. I don't think when you're 25 you want your parents to be doing all those things to you. But if it's your friend, you do it. Yeah. If my dad come and try and do a louse. I'm joking, I don't do that. But yes, thank you for joining us today. Any final words?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
So much for having
We've
us.
learned, we've laughed. Leave your comments in the. Leave your thoughts.
Oh, I was just gonna say, any topics that you would like us to cover too, you can put in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah. if you live in the Joliet area, go to Joliet High School. Please link up with Ms. Roselyn.
Yes, definitely.
And yeah, it's time to go and sleep and eat. And meet us 11 p.m. Central Time for prayer.
So crush.
So we didn't actually finish. We have to ask them what is one thing that they've coined their value or teachings on.
Be a woman who always has her Godfidence cap on.
Wow. Thank you so much.
I love that. Don't be afraid, woman, to take up space.
Wow.
Period.
Take up space how? Like furniture space?
Like, let's say you're in a room and there's 4 men or something, you know, don't be afraid to walk in there and be like, okay, I got this, because, you know, Godfidence is knowing that God is with you no matter what.
Period.
Thank you. One thing I've learned is that as a guy in between two powerful men, it's the tensuous. Shout out to Brother Mike.
Hey, my Daniel.
Yeah,
everybody in Glory.
Sneaky Chanel.
Everybody.
Reverend OD and all the
King Longitude
and all the brothers in Christ. We love you.
Bye.
Glory.
He did for you. Jesus did for you. He'll never leave you alone. So don't fear no evil, and let's go. 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 Let's go.
We in this together, you know what we do, we will ever live forever. Devil on the kid, but we never go to never. Shout out to Present Iveta, she always gonna make it better. You know it's Longy on the mic. God bless everybody, especially Brother Mike. We never they jive, think of how we know be say God they alive. Feel inspiration, man, this slicky, then you're debating. Devil keeps hating, but we so strong. Shout out to G Nation.